Hey guys, it's Neo here. Apologies, this build video is a little bit late. Been having far too much fun in PvP. So here it is, the build video. I mean, I suppose a good place to start would be, I know I get a lot of hate for what I do. Ganking is frowned upon, but as somebody commented on my video quite nicely, ganking is part of the game. I'm an assassin, I'm there to kill. You're not supposed to be able to see me, you're not supposed to be able to feel it, you're supposed to just die. So with that in mind, I'm going to walk you through my complete build. I suppose a good place to start would be the skills. So primarily your front bar, your two main attacks are going to be obviously your ambush, the bread and butter of a Nightblade, and your surprise attack. I hold vigor on my front bar because it's always quite helpful if you get stuck in a rut. Anybody that knows how Scourge is will know that the lag quite often stops you from switching to a back bar. Thank you very much. Relentless focus, a couple of reasons why I do use this. You've got the passives, which is the one which ups your crit rating when you have an assassin ability slotted, which is always nice. However, you also get stamina recovery and an increase in your damage by 8%. Being honest with you, on the occasion that I do actually use the bow, it does hit quite hard, especially since the Dark Brotherhood patch. So thank you for that. And always has a nice little emergency. You've got mass hysteria on there as well, which is a personal favourite of mine of getting out of trouble. In-cap strike. Never used to use this. Always used to use Dawnbreaker because of the damage increase, the passive. However, that's been nerfed, but the main reason why I use in-cap strike is, like I say, you get that increase in crit. However, it's dead cheap. 50 ultimate is crazy, and it does nice damage. Okay, so my back bar is my bow bar. Kind of an unused bar, if I'm honest with you. It's more for buffs and everything else. Rapid maneuvers, I usually run in a small group. I'm very impatient, I want to get somewhere quick. Swap that out for whatever you want. Focused aim, I have that on there for taking resources. That's pretty much it. Swap that out for whatever you want. Now, Radiant Mage Light. This is my bae. When you activate this and you've got Mage's Guild 10, let's scroll down and have a look. Mage's Guild. Casting a Mage's Guild ability grants you Empower, increasing the damage of your next attack by 20%. Quite often you guys will see me sit in stealth, pop up my Assassin's Will, and then Mage Light. And notice how my bow goes orange. That's going to buff up this next attack by 20%. You've got to make sure that you cast it, within 5 odd seconds? Let's have a look. 5 seconds. That's key. 20% increase in damage is gold dust, especially when you do what I do. I have double take on here. I don't have it for the dodge chance. I have it for the major expedition, the increase in movement speed for 30 seconds. That has also got me out of trouble quite a few times. Another bread and butter skill, Shadowy Disguise. The reason why I use Shadowy Disguise is purely for that crit strike being a guaranteed crit within 3 seconds after you use it. It's always quite nice when you're having a bit of a 1vx. Dawnbreaker, the only reason I've got this on my back bar is for that passive in damage, so when I am sniping out adds at a resource, I'm just getting a bit more of an oomph to it. Let's have a look at our champion points. So, let's work our way around the wheel. In the Thief, I do have, I've got 50 in Warlord, so reducing the cost of my stamina ability is a cheeky 1% in sprinting. I don't like to run away from fights, but in the occasion that there's a Zerg coming after me, I'm not going to sit there. I have 73 in Mooncalf, your stamina recovery. Mine's not fantastic, but it's always helpful. Arcanist, magic recovery. I know a lot of people put more in this for your Dark Cloak, but I run Tri-Stat drinks, so my magic recovery is not too bad anyway. Tenacity, I've got 1% just because it's nice to have. Tumbling, so reduce the cost of dodge roll. One thing that Dark Brotherhood brought in was the increase in dodge rolling and CC breaks. Now it gets very, very expensive if you do it too much, so that's always nice to have some in there. And I've just got 1% in shade as well. Okay, so Blessed, I've got 10% in there, so my Vigour heals me for 5% more, which is always nice. Bow Expert, I've just got 5% increase in the damage. Mighty, so the majority of your attacks now will either be physical or disease damage as a Nightblade. So this is quite a key skill. A lot of people ask me why I don't put any in piercing. You'll find your better players in PvP do run Impen, your smart players, but the majority don't, so I don't see the need in physical penetration. It's just, yeah, not needed. Precise strikes, so increasing the damage by your weapon criticals. That one is key. I've always had the debate of whether I go for either Warrior, Thief or Shadow. I personally like Warrior. If you're buffing up your base damage, it's going to buff up your crit damage alongside it anyway. And that's pretty much it, isn't it, on champion points? Oh no, we missed these ones. Okay, so do what you want with these. They're not too necessary. It's just where you want to keep your defense. So I split them up quite nicely, so I've got a little mixture everywhere. However, I have got quite a bit in quick recovery, which also buffs up your Vigour heals. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the character sheet. I've got all of my attributes in stamina, all 64, so I am very, very squishy with my health. 18k. If I came across someone with 18k, I'd probably just ambush on them and they'd die. My stamina recovery, that's not right. I'm still running my Eternal Hunt. Let's get all this changed, shall we? There we go. Okay, so proper character sheet. There we go. My stamina recovery sits at 1916, and like I say, part of that comes off the tri-stat drinks that I run for the recovery. That I know I'm giving a few buffs off of the passives from PvP, but you know, I live in PvP, so we might as well do the look in PvP in the character sheet. This back bar, your bow bar, doesn't reflect any of the damage you do. I know I do a bow heavy, however, the bow heavy actually comes off of your back bar, because what you want to do when you're attacking someone is bring up your mage light, charge your heavy, then quickly switch to back bar and follow it up with a surprise attack. That means that your heavy bow attack is going to run off of your front bar, your dual wield bar. So this is the one you want to have as strong as possible. So I have base weapon damage of 3323, which is quite a healthy amount on a Nightblade. In stealth, not potted up, goes up to 3608. So you've got that, won't affect it, but it will increase my damage by 8%. But you see my stamina recovery jumped up then as well. That's effectively it with my build. If we have a look at the actual gear that I'm using, I use Viper's Sting. Now see, I love Viper's Sting. It's such a fantastic set. It's basically free DPS. If you have a look at the 5-piece, you'll put your melee attacks deal 9006 poison damage. This can occur every 4 seconds. If you count to 4 seconds in your head now, that's no time at all. So in the time that I do an attack and maybe have a dodge roll and jump back in, it's then procced again. So I'm doing an extra 9000 damage. In PvP, obviously that is halved. However, crit damage does work on this. So if you get a crit on your Viper Sting, it hits harder, which is always nice. So yeah, I have Viper Sting on the weapons and also the jewellery. I don't think you can get gold Viper Sting jewellery. Correct me if I'm wrong. You might be able to get it at the end of the weekly if you're in the high scores, but I've never had any. I run a couple of monster pieces. I run a Bloodspawn helm. I do have a medium divines, which would be a little bit better for me, but that's on my stamina sork, so I run my medium infused. I also run a medium infused Molakina. Right, the 5-piece that I run is what I say. What am I trying to say? That you can do what you want with it. There's a couple of different sets that you can use. For pure ganking, I use Hunding's Rage. I like it because it's consistent damage. You get your weapon crit, you get your max stamina, you get your weapon damage. It's all nice buffs to everything I do. However, I know a lot of people also, I haven't got any on me, also run Clever Alchemist. So looking at people like Nifty the Ninja, who I'm sure you've heard of. he uses Alchemist, which obviously when you use a potion buffs up your weapon and spell damage phenomenally. But I don't like that. I'd like to have consistent DPS all the time, so that's why I use Huntings. However, if I'm going into a bit of a 1vx and I'm planning on not ganking but getting in some juicy fights, then I will run Eternal Hunt. So it does bring my damage down by quite a bit, but it gives me that invaluable stamina recovery. But not only that, if I need to get some easy DPS and I'm in a fight, I just dodge roll backwards. Enemy walks towards me, deals them 9,518 poison damage and immobilises them, so those bastards can't run away. Obviously PvP, that's halved, so take that with a pinch of salt. But that is effectively it for my build. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you think I could adjust it in any way and we'll give it a try. Try it out yourselves, let me know if it works for you. But that's pretty much it. Thanks guys.